Alright, so here we are again with this big old mind map, and I'm going to cover this section of the resources and tools section and start up at the top where it says tracking software. Now this may be, something that you know, but does have a little twist to it that I add that maybe you haven't heard of with reference to Facebook. So stay with me and you'll get some pretty good nuggets. So starting off with tracking software that I recommend for Facebook is HyperTracker. Let me go ahead and bring it up here. As you can see, HyperTracker is, pretty simple interface, things like that. You just sign up for HyperTracker and they set you up with an account and you go in there and just start creating campaigns. And let me show you how it looks when you create a campaign. You go to create, it has your ID on there, and then you can name your campaign whatever you want. You want to say Facebook, PPC, stuff, whatever. As a campaign ID. Campaign name, it would be, just as you could do the same thing, just with like spaces and everything like this, because the campaign ID gets tagged at the end for tracking purposes. Facebook PPC stuff, and then you can describe it if you ever forget. Be like, dude, it's Facebook PPC. Duh. Okay. So simple stuff, and then the group name if you want to group several campaigns together. Um, you could say Facebook Conspiracy, right? Group them together this way. If you want people to have remote access, let's say you're tracking for somebody else, you can have them have remote access. They'll be able to log in without having your password. They'll have their own password and they can only access their reports, which is pretty handy dandy. You have the campaign cost right here, which is set by PPC if you want to have it per click, or you can have it set a flat rate if you want to buy an solo ad or things like that. But with Facebook, of course, is going to be whatever your average cost per click. And I usually do count clicks always. And here's the part where it gets to the nitty gritty. The part where this specific, for one, let me show you how this helps marketing. It says enter target URLs. So what this is going to do is after I enter the target URL, right, let me just do one fell swoop, google.com. After I enter the URLs, yahoo.com. After I enter these URLs, it's going to give me a main URL. So let's hit create campaign. Yahoo.com is invalid. Oh yeah, you have to do HTTP for these. Okay, let's do HTTP. That's one thing that can be a pain, but whatever. Let's go ahead and just do it and get it over with. Boom, boom. Say create campaign. Okay, so basically what it does is give you three variations. Actually, no, one mother URL or master URL. It has your ID, campaign ID on there, your personal ID on there. And when you go to this URL, it'll actually split test between these variations. See that? Brought me to Facebook. Okay, your conversation just came up. It'll go to Google, and then of course you hit it again and it goes to Yahoo. And the point of this is this helps you test different landing pages on Facebook to increase conversions. So it's a easy way to split test. You can split test multiple variations, multiple landing pages, and different, see which one works for each keyword and things like that. And you can also hide your actual URL. And what I mean by that is when you put your URL in Facebook, if you have a URL that they have slapped or a domain that they do not allow anymore, a lot of that times putting a URL like this, a tracking URL, can conceal, at least it's to some extent, not completely, but it can kind of help conceal your URL that you're using, right? So that's the function of that is but let me explain to you how this can be very significant to Facebook. When you submit an ad on Facebook, you cannot change the URL without Facebook going back in again and re-evaluating your ad and your landing page. And 90% of the time when this is done, that leads to a disapproval. Now, if you have a tracking URL, such as in HyperTracker, you can basically do this. Say, okay, oh, I got Google, Yahoo, those are all Facebook compliant. So you say, hey, let me go back to here, let me edit this one, and let me change the URL to what I want to do, which is HTTP, let's say, make crazy money easy.com or whatever. And you save changes, and now that URL is the same URL to Facebook, but it's actually redirecting to a different URL to a landing page that maybe isn't compliant, or maybe just converts more and you just don't want to go through the hassle of having it disapproved and then having to appeal and things like that. This is not necessarily for straight up going against Facebook's guidelines, but it's just something to help ease the process. If you have a landing page that's being approved and you just don't want to go through the hassle of a lot of the disapprovals and then, oh, they reevaluate, oh, we're going to approve you. That's a way that you can seal it. So I call that the master switch method. You get a master URL, you put it to track to a particular URL, another target URL where it's going to, the target. And then after Facebook approves it, you go into your software and you just change the URL that it's going to, and Facebook, doesn't even notice. For the most part. I mean, there are cases here and there where they'll notice, but usually I do this a lot, and I've been getting away for a while. Let's put it that way. So, HyperTracker has the ability to do that. Another one of the ones I use more so is W3 ROI, and basically you can see that I have ads going on here, but here's where it works. This is another thing that's cool. Like, let me just tell you what's cool about our W3 ROI. See, this particular one, it has like build keywords, and the keywords that I use, that I base my ads off of, and I track them, and then I can see who's giving me the best ROI. So with Facebook, the way it works is you can put the tracking URL, right, and then put a keyword there because you have the likes and interests, and then you can track based on likes and interests who has the fans that convert the highest, that has the highest ROI, who has the fans that have the highest return on investment, or what interests give you the highest return on investment. Like some of these, as you can see, this one's 4,177.8%. I want to do a lot of offers to this particular ad, to this particular audience, right? There's another one that was 2,000 or whatever. Like all these are high return rates, and it's easy. You just append a keyword at the end on this tracking software, and it tells you what Facebook pages or Facebook interests are giving you the best ROI, which is to help you focus on the keywords that are giving you the results. But additionally, when you create a campaign, you can do the same thing here. You can simply go in, you can have your ad name, you can do the ad groups and all that stuff. I'll skip past that for the sake of time. Like you can do your campaign, your ad group cost info, and all that stuff. Same thing as the HyperTracker, but you go to URLs. You can say this is the ad name, Facebook Faker, or something like that. Facebook Fake Out, whatever. And you have your landing page. You can have your landing page like as a YouTube video, right? And then, or you can have it whatever you want it to have. Let's say it's another one of your pages. This is a good way to be compliant and never get caught, is by actually using your real domain. Let's say this is one of my aomarketing.net, right? And I'll do /FB, right? And after it's approved, I'll make that page compliant, and then after it's approved, I'll go back here and put -1, and that's the more pitchy or more straight up sales type page. And you can do multiple landing pages on here as well. You just keep adding variations. Additionally, little side note, if you're doing something such as a co-op, like a co-op ad, let's say you have a group of people, somebody's a Facebook guy, and you want to have one guy do the Facebook ads, one guy do the Google ads, one guy do the Plenty of Fish ads, the Yahoo ads, the Bing ads, whatever. Just like that, like let's say you're the Facebook guy, and you want to split traffic evenly within your people, you can say let's say you have a group of people, let's say you have a syndicate of 5 people, you can say this, you say, okay, I will do ads for us and we'll split it up between the 5 of us. You give me the money, we'll split it up and get the ROI there. We'll split up and get the ads going. Additionally, this person, you'll get 20% of the ads, I'll get 20% ads, you get 20% of the ads. You can just go like here, like this, guy 1's URL, guy 2's URL, guy 3, I'm making my context in, so I'm making mistakes, guy 1 URL, say guy 2 URL, and just put the 5 there, and it'll split it between these evenly. Let's say you don't want to do it even. Let's say you want to do one person gets 40%, the other person gets 40%, and one person gets 20%. So let's say you got 3 people, one person gets 40%. You can just put their thing in there twice. So let's say guy 1's twice, right? Because these are 20% increments. So you say 20%, 20%, that's 40%. Guy 2, I was getting his 20%, and then another 20% to get 40%, and then this guy 3, well, he'll just get 20% of them. So you can switch it up like that, track the billing, build keywords, see which ones are returning, and you can do the master switch method. Let's say they get approved, you can go back here and switch them to whatever you want to. So those are the top 2 solutions I recommend. This is a free one. Like, these ones are not free. This one's like $14, I think, $15 a month. This one, I actually can't even remember what this is. Let me just do this. Let me take this off. Let me take, whoa, that was weird. Okay, w3roi.com. Let's just do this and just see how much it is. Pricing, I think I'm on this plan, the $69 a month. And maybe that's not in your budget, but you know what? I like the service that you get with this. I like the layout. I just like the overall thing for tracking on this. Some people may not like this, but anyway, that's one of the ways I use the master switch method, as I call it. Hyper Tracker is another way, and then another way you can do is by Prosper 202. This is a self-hosted tracking software, so basically you install it onto your server, and it does the tracking for you. It's completely free, so that may be favorable for some. Additionally, you can also still do the master switch method here. You just install it on your cPanel or whatever FTP, and you know the role. And then you can ask your programmer to do it, and it works basically the same way. You can do it by script, and it will redirect based on different things that you do on there. So it's a little bit more techy, but just to make you aware of a free option that is still a quality option, and yet still a option that you can use the master switch method. Prosper 202 would be the way to go. So those are 3 tracking softwares covering this tiny little part still, and the overall mind map. And hopefully that helped you out, gave you some ideas. You can work with that and get your ads approved and really kill it with Facebook. See you on the next video.